The woman in front of her made a huge mistake. She's about to face the pursuit of her brother who is released from prison, only find each other's best friend, hoping for a chance to plead, but there's nothing the boss can do. After Danny learned of his brother's death, there is no room for maneuver between them. Louis can only run away as soon as possible.
Danny takes the rap to save his kid brother, and while he's locked up, you talk the kid into pulling another job.
Richie wanted to pull that job. I helped him, but he wanted to.
And who squealed to the cops when the keeper backfired? Who put the blame on Richie?
If he hadn't informed the police of the hideout, Lee Quay will not be killed on the spot. Louis explained that he was questioned. Can't stand whistleblowing. I never thought it would come to this. I just asked the boss to help me, but Richie was killed. Everybody agrees. Big brother is on his way. The boss doesn't need to help the dead. He had no other choice. Can only find your beloved boyfriend, and he looked like he was terrified. Indicates that you now have an important customer. Louis can't handle that much. Then forced his way into the house. Looking at the prepared table for two, he couldn't help but ask the other party's gender. Tim smiled and explained that it was a man, and Louis stopped thinking about it. He has been busy for 2 months. He hasn't returned his calls. Now he is too lazy to care about it. I just asked my boyfriend to come forward and persuade me, but you're already on your way back. Tim's face changed when he heard that. The other party values the brother so much, willing to go to jail for it. Coming out will definitely kill Louis. Tim advised him to get out of here, then go back to that small town back home. It's enough to show that you don't want to get involved. Louis saw it all. The boyfriend just wants to get rid of himself. Looking at a flower on the table, who would send this to a male client? That's when Tim confessed that the other party was a woman. Louis couldn't stop the tears. Speaking of the reason why Kay Rich stole something, just to get half the money. Then spend it on your own dress to make Tim look happy.
Don't you see, Tim? I did it all for you and you don't care.
Right, do it. Well, since I told you, I've been very busy lately. Couple of big deals.
Louis' hanging heart finally died. Boyfriend made it clear to stay out of it. He is now helpless. Just give up the struggle. You can't avoid the end wherever you go. That's when the phone at home suddenly rings. He took the receiver and said something, but the other party quickly hung up the phone. Louis vaguely guessed something. This is to confirm whether you're at home or not. The door was soon open. Danny couldn't help but wonder. He seems to have deliberately left the door unlocked. They are not afraid of their own arrival. Even if you pull your arm, Louis is also indifferent. This further ignited Danny's anger. Let him better kneel on the ground and beg for mercy. You get an indifferent attitude. Danny thought it was a fake. After all, he was begging his boss to intercede not long ago. But all in vain. Louis has come to terms with reality. Her boyfriend also abandoned herself. He has no reason to live. Danny had to take that at face value. From this rundown apartment, Louis didn't have any money at all. He just wants to know the answer to one question.
When you told the cops where Richie was hiding, did you think of his wife? Did you think of his kid? You knew Joan. You've seen that kid. Answer me.
I only thought about Tim being in love. Danny was out of options for a while. Louis is now hell-bent on death. Orchestrated revenge. Killing him is helping him. Louis says yes, even if he doesn't do it. I will find a bridge to jump off.
I don't like it. If you were scared, if you pleaded with me, it'd be easy.
This way, Danny lost his temper. Then I asked him what he used to live on. Louis is a little confused, but he used to design skirts. Danny suddenly lost his aura. I thought maybe I was wrong. He really felt remorse. Then explained that you have cash on hand. The next few years are still a holiday period. Danny has to find something serious so the police don't embarrass themselves. But none of his friends were doing their jobs. Louis is not in that circle. Just in time to help. Danny is going to put his money in a clothing store. Put him in charge of the operation. After making money, you become a business partner. Louis hasn't recovered yet. Danny promises to open the store if he agrees. Fast forward to a month later, Louis rented a clothing store and designed all kinds of skirts. The whole person is very high. At the same time, Danny walked in to inspect the situation. The operating status is much better than expected. Louis is satisfied with the current vision.
Been working hard?
I never felt better in my life.
Fine. That means you do a good job. That's all I care about.
I just hope the opening's a success, that's all.
These costumes are very nice. It's a pity they lack publicity now. When you've run out of money, after learning that $5,000 was required, he agreed without hesitation. Louis excitedly came forward and kissed. I don't know how to thank each other, but you just want him to be happy. Then he turned and left the store. Then came to the boss's clubhouse. The two haven't seen each other for a while. I heard he was doing business with Louis. The boss will naturally have no opinion, but not everyone else. Those brothers who hang out with Lee Key, waiting for Big Brother to avenge him. Now this is the result. Danny didn't care. Then asked him to borrow 5,000 yuan. The boss went to withdraw the money without saying a word. That's when a man came up furiously. What's the situation with yelling at him? Why not avenge your brothers? Thanks to him being used as a role model in the face of this chatter of greetings. Danny just poured a glass of wine over there. It's not his turn to point fingers. A few days later, clothing store opened successfully. Louis had a big smile on his face. He knows that people around him are discussing. You can also see the feelings revealed by the other party, but it is still an expression of gratitude. Danny doesn't understand what it means. Louis doesn't want to lie anymore. And then I came clean. Tell me that you still love Tim. I can't forget it from beginning to end. He couldn't accept Danny's feelings.
He lives over at the Carlton Arms, I hear. I think I'll have a talk with him.
Dan, you're not...
No, don't you worry. I'll fix everything. I'll do everything you'd want me to.
After he finished speaking, he turned around and headed to the hotel. Louis can't stop it in time. It was 3 a.m. Tim greeted Danny with trepidation. I thought the other party was for Lee Key's business. Quickly distanced himself from Louis, Danny's eyes became more and more fierce. Louis is his partner, but the person he cares about the most is Tim. So I'm going to break up with him tomorrow. It couldn't be more obvious. He quickly expressed his willingness to contribute. Danny is satisfied, nodding and talking about Louis' business worth tens of thousands. Now, I need a suitable helper. Timmy is the best candidate. He hurried to do as Danny said.
Why, I wouldn't know what to say. It's been so long.
Say, you want to marry her.
Lois?
Hello, baby. After watching the two connect the phone, he left the room in silence. And by the time the next day arrived, Louis gave the entire staff a vacation and reported the good news to Danny. Timmy came to the store to propose in the morning. He feels sweet all day. I never imagined life would be so beautiful. This is all because of Danny. He didn't want to live a month ago. Even wanted him to kill himself. At that time, Danny gave up revenge. Lest Louis die of extreme misanthropy. Now he is happier than ever. She thinks she is the happiest woman in the world. But the moment he turned around, Danny is aiming a pistol. Now that Louis has a reason to live, everything can be recycled. Revenge has meaning from now on. This move is really murderous.